another pair right behind them, and we can begin to make more plows and more furrows so that the ground is soft and ready, because you know what? The harvest is right, and Jesus is coming back. These are end-time warriors. If you are in this county and you're coming to this house and this is your church, these are your pastors. If you're here for anything else, you will not reap the full benefit of what it is for pastors to be over your life, to pray for you, to fast for you, to bury you, to marry you, to dedicate your children, to baptize you when you just get saved, to be in the altar with you, and even in the dark place when you don't see it. They're carrying the weight of the world, and they're pushing back the gates of darkness over your marriages, over your body, over your diseases, over your poverty. I'm telling you, pastors have a big old bullseye on them that you don't see because you're behind them, and they're over here just guarding it, right? They're in the foxhole, but they're the first to look up to see if it's safe to run. Be those that can be trustworthy in the foxhole. Some of you I have asked, we all asked, there's a whole team of us. It's not me. There's a whole team of us that have been working like crazy. Leslie is a workhorse, love her. Laura's amazing. She's cooked a great, great meal. Carol and all the others that have helped, thank you. We hope you guys are blessed by it. But some of us would like to tell you what you mean to us. And I just did. So who's next? I'm going to call you out. Leslie. Leslie's next. Yes. Because we want to see your pretty face.
Well, I could, talk a lot about Aaron and Sarah. I think you just did a great job. You guys are just role models for Joe and I. We look up to you guys so much in, all categories of life, just everything. You guys are wonderful. But I think something that also can be pointed out or brought to attention today would be the Trimble girls, for all of their time and love that they pour into our kids every single time that they see them. All the Wednesdays they come, they give their time every Wednesday to our kids to let us come and dive into the Bible. So I know that there's other mamas and daddas in here that can agree with that, but we really appreciate you girls more than you know. And Cole and Keaton as well. We love you guys. We're very blessed to have you guys as cousins and friends. Who's next? Wants to talk.
Firstly, I just want to praise God for putting me in this place and working through Pastor to make a difference in my life and all of our lives. Thank you for being a friend, a mentor, and just always there for me. And you have my back, and I know that's God that put you in my life, and I thank Him for it. One thing I want to say about Pastor that makes this church real and different from any other religious church. I've been on a church board in my previous church, and it's always about money. It's always about, can we keep on this reverend? Can we pay his salary? I've never heard Pastor complain about his salary. He rather goes and looks for a different worldly job to keep doing what he's doing here and to keep changing lives. So I honor you for that, for not making it about your life, but about everybody else. And thank you for that, and I praise Jesus for you.
Thank you, Tony. This may not take that long, but no, I just like to say, especially this might be a little bit historical. It's working. In that I was here at the very beginning of this church, but I guess that's not really true. God was here at the beginning, and Pastor Aaron was the one who got inspired to start this church. We moved here 23 years ago, and believe it or not, we were pretty much a family of believers. And you could just sense a spiritual pall over West Point, Nebraska. It wasn't a dark one. We've been to other towns where there was a darkness over this. This wasn't, but it was just a spiritual pall, a spiritual deadness here. So we moved here, and life went on, and I got to see that, my gosh, everybody who lived here in West Point went out of town to worship on Sundays. All the true believers, they went to Fremont, they went to Omaha, they went to Oakland, they went wherever. And I thought, that's not right. We need to change that. And I knew that when God moved us here, because we had been at a church that was at the time was just so alive, and our entire family was growing, and I thought, gosh, why did you bring us to the wilderness? What reason could you have? Well, 10 years later, through a friend, Alex Meyer, if that rings a bell with any, but someone to this day I would still call one of the greatest Iron Men that ever lived. He said, well, when I shared with him that I thought God brought us here for a greater purpose, he said, I know a guy up in Pender, Aaron Trimble's his name, and he's wanting to start a church down here. And immediately, my antenna went off. I thought, wait a minute, this could be big. So just through a series of events, called him and we met, and it didn't take, I don't think, 10 seconds for me to realize this was it. I had done several things, tried to through my own efforts, but they would just die on the vine. But when I met the man that God intended to start and lead this church, I knew it immediately, that this was the anointed one. That this was how, that through Aaron, this was going to get going. A place to worship here in West Point. So the believers didn't have to leave town. You could love God and worship him and enjoy being in the Spirit right here in town. So I do just give him all the credit and his family. I know, at least I think I know,